Hi, my name's Barbara and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make a side dish for you that is a reinvention of a classic French dish. Actually, to be precise, it's a reinvention of a classic French dish. Let me explain. Maybe you've heard of a recipe called Pommes Annette. It's a fantastic dish made of nothing but potatoes and a lot of butter. Thinly sliced potatoes cooked into a cake shape that is sliced into wedges alongside your roasted meat. It's a classic dish that has a lot of flavor, but some genius came up with the idea to make it in individual portions. How they did it was thinly sliced potatoes with a goat cheese layer in between the layers of potatoes. Today I'm going to reinvent the reinvention of Pommes Annette, and we're going to make Pommes Fillette? Pommes Barbette? I don't know, what do you think we should call it? Instead of using the goat cheese layer, we're going to, of course, use Philadelphia cream cheese that I will flavor with roasted garlic and sage. The original recipe calls for thyme, but I'm choosing sage today for a few reasons. First of all, I love the flavor of sage with roasted garlic and potatoes. Second of all, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 7, and I'm always running out of time. Boom. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at our simple ingredients and get ready to make a great side dish. So as always in my kitchen, we use few ingredients and simple ingredients, and today is no exception. We have Yukon Gold potatoes. This side dish recipe will make about 12 servings. I keep the peels on because I prefer that, and I like the Yukon Gold for both the color and the flavor. We're going to use some roasted garlic, and I will confess that I cheated this time. I usually roast my own garlic, but to keep the prep time of this dish under an hour, I actually bought some store-prepared roasted garlic puree. And I was pleasantly surprised with both the aroma and the flavor. So give it a try and have that in your fridge for moments just like this. We're going to use some fresh sage, as I said. You want some that you can chop up finely to put in the filling, but you also want to make sure that you keep out the smaller, just perfect shaped leaves. That's going to be part of our presentation and garnish. And of course we have our Philadelphia cream cheese. This is the original flavor, and I've just whipped it up with my beaters to get it light and fluffy for the filling. Let's get these things together and we'll start our side dish. The first step we're going to do is make our cream cheese filling. We're going to make it first so the flavors get a chance to really meld together before we start assembling our layers of potatoes and cream cheese. We're going to chop our sage very, very finely. You don't want a big piece of leaf of the sage in the filling, just to keep it to be a very delicate and elegant cream cheese filling. But you don't want it so over chopped that it's bruised and unrecognizable. So get a nice finely chopped herb and add that to your cream cheese. I just love the smell of fresh sage, and I'm getting very excited to see our sage starting to pop up in the garden. Then we're going to add our roasted garlic. It's a little bit of a matter of taste. If you're not a big roasted garlic fan, then you might want to use a little bit less. You just want to be sure that the flavor is nice and full. It gives a really hearty richness to the dish, I find, to have the roasted garlic. So we start to blend that in nicely. And because we've whipped the Philly previously, you can just stir it in. You don't need to mess up your food processor. It just stirs in nicely. A little salt and some freshly cracked pepper. Another stir. And that part of our dish is complete. See how easy this is going to be? Delicious. So I'll let that sit aside and we'll prepare our potatoes. To prepare our potatoes, you're going to use your mandolin. And you want to use the thin slice setting if you have one. And we're just going to slice our potatoes. And you might remember that I said in the original recipe of Pommes Annette, they used copious amounts of butter in the dish. Well, we're not going to use copious amounts today, but we do need to use some to get them nicely cooked and browned on the outside. So when you have your rounds, if you have the patience of a saint, you can take your pastry brush and brush both sides of your rounds with a pastry brush. If you do not have the patience of a saint, like I don't, then the easier way is to put all your slices into a bowl and to just toss them with your melted butter. You use less butter this way, and certainly the preparation time is cut in half at least. So just pour some melted butter on top, toss them around, get them all coated, and you'll be ready to start layering them in the individual servings. We are ready to assemble our Pommes Fillette, and it's a little bit fussy. but it's no more difficult to make than, say, scalloped potatoes. There's a little bit of fussiness in terms of putting it together, but it does go pretty quickly. So let me show you what we've done. You take your muffin tin, and I've buttered all the insides. And this is where those perfect little sage leaves come into place. When you serve these, you're going to flip them upside down so that you have this perfect little piece of sage sitting on the bottom, which will become the top. So you're just going to want to put your perfect little sage leaves face side down in the bottom of your muffin tins. And now you're going to start layering your potato slices. We're going to have 10 layers of potatoes with 9 layers of filling in between. We have our potato there, and then you're going to want just maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of the filling. It doesn't sound like much, but when you have 9 layers of it, it does add up. Also, you're going to find that the layers press down upon each other as we go here, and the cream cheese will just flesh right out to the edges of the serving. So you can see why I say this is a little bit fussy. It's a little time consuming, but not bad. And again, you can certainly get your kids involved. Who doesn't love playing with potatoes? So as you're getting your filling in and putting your potato slices on top, you're going to find that some are perfectly round and then some are not. If you get one like this that's only half done, just find another half and line it up, and that will make a layer. So 10 layers of potatoes with 9 layers of the cream cheese filling in between. And you just keep stacking until you've filled your muffin tins. So I'm going to continue putting these together, and then we will come back and see how they go into the oven. We have all of our individual servings assembled now, and do remember too that when you're making the layers, you don't need only one circle of potato per layer. You can have several, just so long as you have an even layer of potatoes and then the cream cheese filling as you're going through your stack of 10 layers. Alright, now that clarification is out of the way, let me show you the interesting way that we bake these. Here we have one of our trays of our potatoes. We're going to take a sheet of parchment paper that is cut just larger than the pan, and we're going to butter it. And then we're going to take this and lay it butter side down on top of our full muffin tray. On top of that, you're going to add another empty muffin sheet. And then you want to weight it down with another oven-proof sheet. If you have a cast iron pan, you can use that. If you have even pie weights, as long as you have lots of them to fill the tray and weight it down, use that. So you want to brace it down and heavily weight it so that the little layers of potatoes and cream cheese flatten out and join together nicely into a compact little serving. So we're going to stick this into a 400-degree oven for about half an hour, and then we'll get ready to see how they look for presentation. Our potatoes have cooked for 30 minutes and they look fabulous. To get them out of the tin, all you need to do is let them just sit for 2 or 3 minutes to kind of collect themselves, and then you can run a knife around the edge and flip them out onto your serving tray. You can see that they have got golden and crispy. They're just pretty gorgeous. And actually, I'll show you this one. You can see that the sage leaf on top shows through, and it just looks gorgeous on the top of that golden brown potato. So you have your platter full of potatoes. They're going to taste divine. Tonight I'm serving them alongside chicken, and actually we weighted down, when we had the muffin tins, I weighted them down with the chicken I'm preparing tonight, so you can use your oven pretty efficiently that way. I hope you try it, I hope you love it. Happy cooking!